Hello, friends, it's Kelly, and I have a new layout for Collection Obsession, and I'm combining this layout challenge with Christy's beautiful live 10-year YouTube hop anniversary for her anniversary for being on YouTube for 10 years. So I just kind of had to combine these because I've run out of time. So I'm using the same kit for that I've been using for Collection Obsession, and this month the goal is to get 4 layouts done using the kit that you select at the beginning of the month. And I this is my third layout, so I did not get 4 done, but I'm still pretty happy. I have made a pretty huge dent in this collection, so I'm and I've got 3 really pretty layouts that I'm very happy with that I've created, and so I'm going to call this month a win, even though I didn't do 4. um, so I've just here I am finding the center of this paper, because at first I was going to um, layer these 3 strips of paper to one side, and I thought, that's kind of what I always do. Let's do something different. And so I just decided I'm going to um, just layer these strips right down the center of this page and see what I could do with that. I really didn't have a plan for this other than I wanted a strip of all these pattern papers. Um, and that was about it. And I'm scrapbooking these 2 photos I showed at the beginning of my granddaughter at a pool party. And yeah, so I went ahead and decided that I needed to add a white mat around this layout, that I wanted it to be, yeah. So I wanted to layer these papers on white cardstock. And I just felt like it needed a little bit of contrast. I don't know, because I'm not really used to using pattern paper as my background completely, so I never feel like a layout is complete usually unless it has a border. So that's what I did here, and I distressed the edges because also I don't feel like a layout's complete unless I do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and mat these 2 photos on the green just to bring a little bit more of that color in. And then once I get these trimmed up, I will go ahead and mat these on a white cardstock, which is why I cut the center out of the white cardstock in the beginning. Did you notice how I did not use the word gut? Some of you will get that, the ones that have watched my videos recently. I don't like that word gut. It brings to mind ugly things. So I've tried to come up with a new term for, for gutting the cardstock. And like I said, I didn't really have a plan for this other than I knew I have so many die cuts for this collection, and that has been my big goal. I don't have a lot of papers. I bought like 4 or 5 papers from this collection, but I do have a whole lot of die cuts, and so my goal has been to use up as many of those as I can. And so this is going to be a very dimensional and a very layered layout. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out how I want to start. So notice that I'm using my biggest pieces first. So I want to get those. I wanted to find a place for those first, and then I will start building from there. And I also still have a whole lot of stickers from the sticker sheet, so I also wanted to try and use at least some of those up. But I just love this collection. It has been so much fun to work with. And so while I am like moving things around on the page and making decisions, I just thought we would talk about Christy and Christy's Beautiful Life. I've only been on YouTube, I think this is my second year. So I started during the pandemic. So I think that, yes, I think this is probably a year and a half. I can't remember. I'm really bad with dates and times. but anyway, all of that to say, I just can't imagine. Christy has been instrumental in building community for the scrapbook, for the scrapbook world. I mean, she has done so much for this community and like created all these hops and has so many good ideas and works really hard to build a community for scrapbookers. And I just really appreciate all that she does. And I want to be sure and recognize that she is not only an awesome scrapbooker, but an awesome motivator of scrapbookers. So be sure to go check out all the other people who are participating in not only this hop, but also the collection obsession hop. And all of that stuff will be listed in the links below. So here I'm just playing with some of the ephemera pieces, trying to find something that I like. And I always seem to lean towards the like floral type pieces or leaves, or I don't know what it is about those shapes that just make it so easy to layer with. Like they just seem to always work. And so I'm kind of using that because I couldn't figure out what else. Like I really wanted to use like the whale and the little fish. And I did end up using a couple of the smaller fish and a couple of the starfish, but couldn't really find a place for the whale or the flamingo or like the little bag. But I want to use all the pieces all the time. So I have to rein myself in because I could end up with a chaotic mess if I just keep adding stuff. And we buy all these supplies, and why not use as many of them as you can on a layout? I mean, it's a lot of fun it's kind of like, and I've said this before, it's like a puzzle. Like you're finding how the pieces fit together to create a scene. And so I'm just adding the smaller pieces now. I've got most of my base pieces in, and I'm using the smaller pieces to fill in some areas. Like where I have that journaling spot, I don't like that harsh edge of the line on that side, so I wanted something to cover it. So I used a little green seashell and then the little clam with the pearl in it. And I also felt like I wanted to add some pink down here on this right hand bottom side because there's pink in the sail, the little the sail of the boat. And I feel like that color stands out a lot, so I wanted to add it in other areas to give it more of a balanced look. And so I'm trying to use some of the sticker sheet pieces as well. And then I have these little enamel epoxy little shapes as well. And I'm just using those as fillers. Those are my smallest. So you notice I start with my biggest, go to like the medium, and then the smallest to create my cluster. Well, it's not really a cluster. It's kind of it's kind of one big cluster. and I think it turned out super cute. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you will go check out all the other people participating in both of these hops and see what everybody else is up to. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a wonderful day.